Hello students, and welcome to Theado's first attempt at a math video for this class. Bear in mind that I am not great with technology, so we're going to work through this together. I know you've been doing your best. I'll do my best. We'll make this work. Here's my first note now. We're going to be working on percentage problems on this video. And if your calculator has a percentage key, I don't want you to use it. The percentage key is bad. It's confusing. It works different from calculator to calculator. We're not going to use the percentage key. We'll do these problems with a calculator, but keep your fingers off of that key. Here's a couple of things now to keep in mind as we get started. A little bit of review. Do you recall from previous work how to change a percent into a decimal? Here's the way we do it. If I have 35%, I know there is a decimal point right there. To change a percent into a decimal, we move the decimal point 2 spots to the left, making that 0.35. If my percentage is 7%, with the decimal point there, and I move my decimal point 2 spots to the left, you see how I have a place value here with nothing in it. That's a 0. 35% is the same as 0.35. 7% is the same as 0.07. 40% would become 0.40, or just 0.4. 138%. If I move the decimal point twice, it's right there between the 1 and the 3. That would be 1.38%. All right, that's review. Here's what your homework problems are actually going to look like. Look at example 1. Now we're allowed to use a calculator on these. I'll keep my calculator handy. The question is, 30% of 45 is what number? Well, let's remember our algebra skills. Of and is are algebra words. Is, we know, means equals. Of always means to multiply. Now, what number? That's what we're trying to find. 45 is just 45. And anytime we see a percentage, we'll move that decimal point 2 spots and turn it into a decimal. Now, to get my final answer, all I need to do is multiply 0.30 times 45. So calculator time, we'll type in 0.30 and multiply it by 45. My final answer is 13.5. Here's what your book will say. Here's what I want you to write down on your paper. Is translate the problem into an equation and then use your calculator to solve. Here comes example 2. What number is 12% of 655? What could that be an example of? Maybe I owe you $655. I don't have $655, so I'm going to pay you 12% of it today. How much do I pay you today? Now let's remember our math words. Is equals. Of is times. What number? That's what I'm looking for. 655 is just 655. But anytime we see a percentage, we'll move the decimal point 2 spots to the left to change it into a decimal. Now let your calculator do the work for you. So type in 0.12 and multiply it by 655. 78.6. I owe you $655. I'm going to pay you 12% of that today, which means I pay you $78.60 today. I still owe you a lot of money. I've only paid you a little bit of what I owe. Here's what your book will have written. Here's what you put on your homework paper is the equation and the answer. New example. Suppose you're going to purchase a nice graphing calculator that costs $108, but it's on sale. Yay! On sale, you're only going to pay 75%. Is means equals. Of means times. Here's what we're looking for. 108 is 108. And percentages, we change into decimals. That decimal point always 2 spots to the left. Now on a calculator, 108 times 0.75 is 81. This nice graphing calculator cost $108, but we're getting it on sale. We're only going to pay $81. Here's what your paper will look like. Equation and answer. Last example. What number is 8% of 65? Is equals. Of is times. What number is what we're looking for? 65 is 65. And 8%, if I move the decimal point twice, is 0.08. Now on a calculator, 0.08 multiplied by 65 is 5.2. Final answer, 5.2. There's my answer. Here's how I show my work. All right. I think you're all set. Go work some homework problems, and I'll meet you back here later on today.